Yay, we're finally live. Trying this on my laptop here. Well, I'm sitting here at the, where is this? Dansville Pilot. There's a little hole in the wall that apparently makes you pay for like every spot here. All 25. Oh, so I'm still alive, barely, but I'm alive after, I don't know what I had, but it must have been, I don't know, COVID 2.0 or something. I got like bronchitis, a sinus infection. It moved into my eyes and my ears. I had an earache and everything. It was it was ridiculous. I'm just now barely now getting over it for right now. So we'll see. I got everything going. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm using the mic on the camera, but we'll see how this goes. Let's see who's in here. We got Justin's in here. So if you can hear me, just go ahead and throw the thumbs up. Because right now I don't know if it's picking the mic up on the camera or not. But got another Tyson guy in here. Let's see what the comments say. Yeah, but so I'm basically out here running the road again, picking up miles again, which is nice. I definitely needed them after this week because I haven't worked since. Well, I started working this Wednesday night, and I was off since Saturday, so I had a good 4 or 5 days where I wasn't making any money, which I guess ain't too bad. Like I said, I like to say I'm hurting a lot, but I guess I'm not compared to what I've been seeing here. I've been seeing a lot of guys get on YouTube here lately, and I guess just let it all out. People that I didn't think were possibly hurting, they never seemed like they're hurting. Guys with multiple trucks, multiple trailers and things. So I guess I'm actually pretty lucky compared to where I stand. Maybe I shouldn't complain so much, I guess. Uh, I don't know. I guess when you get used to always netting like $3,000 to $4,000 or more, especially during what 2021, 2022 there, uh, you kind of feel like you're back on company driver pay. But then again, I've never really done OTR as a company driver. So I've always done like LTL or something specialized local. So I've always made pretty decent money whenever I was a company driver. So I don't know. In my head, I feel that an owner operator should, I don't know, be able to consistently net like $4,000 a week. I guess that's the way I feel in my head. If you're gonna run a business and stuff, you should you should definitely make like at least twice as much, if not more, than a company driver. Well, hold on. Let me see if I can mute this. I'm about ready to have a coughing fit already. Uh, all right, we're good to go now. Um, we got Danville's finest in here driving around. Uh, I guess he's giving tickets. I guess because they have a no parking zone in here, and they have a big sign on the door that says "We will ticket you and tow you." So there's I don't know, a service truck. Oh, I guess I can show you. I can pick up the camera actually from the laptop. Service truck over there. He's about ready to get some tickets and probably get towed. So what's about to happen there? So let's see. Abandoned P Jug. Good afternoon. That's about what I see here. Is a lot of abandoned P Jugs. So which one are you? Oh, yeah. I'm just I don't know, just wasting time right now. I gotta finish up my 2 hour break. Then I gotta pick up this trailer down here at this new facility they built. And then after that, I get to head back up to Pottsville. So I'm probably going to do about 1,500 miles this week, which for only working what Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, for working 4 days, that ain't bad doing 1,500 miles. At least for what I'm getting paid. But I don't know. Uh, like I said, a lot of guys are complaining. I complain all the time, back and forth. In fact, if you like check out my last settlement, I was complaining about my. I was complaining about how the previous week I was stuck on New York City loads, and apparently, just like somebody else, F8. I must not look through my settlements enough, or at least examine them enough to see what I'm getting paid, I guess. Most of the time, I just look at my fuel purchases and my chargebacks, like my lumber fees and stuff. But see if I pull this up here. Oh, where is this at? Brain still hasn't come back to full power. I'm still all congested. Um, Man, where the heck? It should be right here in my settlement email list. What I hate is, for some reason, Gmail. Whenever you read something anymore, it like disappears. All right, well, I thought it would be there, but apparently not. I wonder if they put it in my other email. I forget which email they're emailing anymore. Oh, yeah, that's what they're doing. They're putting it in another email. All right. So I looked through my settlements, and I was bitching last week about how much I was making for going to New York City, and oh, that's not it. That was this week's settlement. Here we go. And here I'm not doing so bad, actually, going to New York City. I mean, I guess as long as I get detention and stuff. Um, oh damn, what the hell is it? Yeah, this is just going off the top of my head. This definitely ain't planned at all. All right, well here's one. So if I just go to New York City, there and back, I get paid both there and back. Um, Here we go, Central Islip. So I went to Central Islip, which is Long Island. Out of the fuel surcharge, my detention and everything, I did $1,200. 11 it was 11 eight yeah, 11,180. So it's like $1,200. So I guess that ain't too bad. Um, Even when I go to Bronx, it might be a little bit less than that. I'm probably doing like 1,000 or 1,100. So, well, unless I sit there for like 5 or 6 hours, then I get detention. But other than that, I guess I can't bitch that much. See, when I used to go flatbed into like New York and stuff like that, yeah, I didn't do it for anything under like 1,200 to 1,500 bucks. And 1,200 was like my minimum. But then again, I'm not paying tolls. I'm not paying reefer fuel, so I'm probably doing a lot better than I think I am. And the only reason I noticed that is because I looked through my profit and loss reports on my bank app I got here, my Found Business Banking, which I guess I'm going to start promoting them because they actually are letting me, and they're going to give me a decent amount of money to do it. So one of these days, I'm going to do a video showing me, showing, I guess, showing you guys how my bank account works and how it automatically calculates your taxes and everything, and finds your deductions, and does your profit and loss reports for you and everything. It's basically QuickBooks, except 1,000 times simpler, I guess you could say. So I already feel like I'm losing my voice again. I just want this to be gone. I want this to be gone so I can, start making videos again and putting out some content. And well, I'm making money right now, so that's a good thing. But I'm just tired of being sick right now. It just keeps hanging on. I keep getting sore throats in the middle of the night and everything. Uh, yep. This That's what this comp's doing. He's giving out tickets, and then I guess they're gonna probably have this truck towed. Some kind of service truck. I don't know if it's for power company or vehicle maintenance. I don't know, but it's definitely gonna get towed. It looks like. Oh, the one that deserves a wrench. Well, here, let's see if I. There you go. Gave you a wrench. I'm not used to being able to hand them out that easy. Like I said, I'm used to either being glued to my phone to record or what. But this is the first time. Well, no, this isn't the first live. I've done a couple lives, like not from the driver's seat, but at least from my little studio or whatnot back there. I gotta have a coughing fit again. How about now? How about now? See, I don't know why the camera ended up muting me out of nowhere. How about now? See, I don't know why the camera. All right. So I guess I don't know what happened there. This live's gonna be freaking great. All right. So I don't know where I left off at. Uh, I'm guessing I left off. Did I leave off talking about the settlement? Talking about maybe people have it worse than I do. I don't know. I think that's what I talked about. But I guess I'll just recap a little bit what I said. So I ended up checking my settlements out. I know last week I was bitching about going to New York City and Long Island all week, but I'm actually doing about $1,000 a day doing that. So I did pretty decent with the amount of miles I did because I ran under 5,000. I mean, I ran under 1,000 miles. So to sum it up, maybe I shouldn't come on here and complain as much as I do. Maybe I shouldn't be making some of the content I make where I can complain and talk about how the sky is falling because I've been watching videos lately on YouTube of guys that have a lot more to lose and have more skin in the game, I guess, at least for right now than I do. And they're like practically not making it. They're you can see it. They're depressed. They don't know what they're doing. They have no idea what's going on. They don't know why they can't make any money. And I even for a while there I was calling up 2 or 3 weeks ago I was calling up companies just to see if maybe I could move somewhere, Landstar or whatnot, TSH or something, Bennett. And a lot of the companies aren't really taking owner operators. I mean, I guess if you're in certain areas, they'll take you for the most part, but they're almost like on hiring freezes. And the same thing goes for companies. That they're posting, but most of the companies that have posts or there's old posts, they just aren't really hiring anybody unless you're in a like the area that they need it. Like maybe right next door to I don't know a uh, a Target or Walmart DC or something that they pull out of. They'll hire you. Other than that, though, they're all on hiring freezes pretty much for the most part. Everybody is. Is 936 a month too much for tractor insurance? That just for like bobtail and everything? Wow. I I don't know, guys. Yeah, I mean, I'm paying for bobtail and everything. I'm paying like $480 a month for this brand new T680. So I don't know. That seems pretty high to me. Then again, I'm going through an insurance agent, but I'm insured through Progressive. So I would say for bobtail and stuff, that's really high. I mean, geez, for another couple $100, you could probably be paying for your own authority insurance, like $1,200 to $1,500 a month, depending where you live. At least that's what I was paying. I was paying about $1,200 to $1,500. It went up and down a little bit because I had drivers and things, but that's what I was paying per truck. It was about $1,200 to $1,500 a month per truck on my authority, and that was through Progressive. See, I don't know. Yeah, yours is through Progressive too. Yeah, New York City, I'm good. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just came on here. I don't know to kill some time. I gotta make up my 2 hours here. I'm on a 2 hour break, and then I'm here in uh, Dansville, Virginia, down here almost near North Carolina at the shitty pilot. And I got to pick up at a new facility here. I got a relay. I got to pick up and bring up to the Walmart DC up there in Pottsville. So right across from the Tyson DC. Uh, I just basically came on here just to put some content out. I mean, I know I could make like a vlog video or something, but I'm just not into it. Like by tonight, my throat will probably be all closed up again. Um, I don't know what I got. It's like bronchitis, tonsillitis, a sinus infection. It was in my ears. I had earaches. My eyes started getting all screwed up too. It got into my eyes. Uh, I don't know what it was, but it was bad. And I can't. I know I'm not really. YouTube is not my. I'm not really too worried about it, but uh, once you start getting over 10,000 and you have subscribers and all that stuff, you start watching the numbers. I kind of just don't want to like let the channel die, because if you don't make content for over 2 weeks, it just things start dropping off and people start unsubscribing and stuff. So, you remember watching the short with me in New York? You're probably talking about the one with me just blowing the air horn and getting over, probably. Either that or the one where I was complaining where I was stuck on the side of the road having to take my break. I don't know. Uh, Either way, they all suck. Uh, New York City is not bad if you don't have to go too far from like the LIE or off of 95 or 278 there. When you actually have to drive like down America, I guess America or American Ave or something like that. When you actually have to get into the city, that's when things get really really shitty and dangerous for you. Maybe not deadly dangerous or whatnot, but like you're gonna have people yelling at you. You're gonna get in accidents. You're gonna have to back. Like what was it? I remember I took a mail contract once, and I had to deliver to. I don't know if it's by Times Square or not, but I know it's like in the city. I forget where it was because I just wanted to forget it. That's how crap it was. But you have to deliver to a mail facility. And you have to come. You almost have to point. You have to point the wrong way in traffic. You have to go down the wrong way of the street, point the wrong way in traffic, and then back up into like a garage to deliver mail. Um, I forget where that was at, but that was probably years ago. I had my CDL for like 3 years then or 4 years, but like shit like that. That's really when it's bad. Like just driving down the LIE, the Long Island Expressway, 495 and stuff. It's if as long as you're at like a large warehouse facility that's right off of there, it's not too bad. I mean, sitting in traffic sucks and everything. You just got to make sure you get paid for doing it. That's all. Whether you're a company driver or an owner operator. Okay, this guy's doing lease purchase. Well, how about this? What kind of carrier you lease purchasing to? Are you paying them for the bobtail insurance? How about that? I bet you are, because I had a lease purchase. I was not a lease purchase, but I was leased onto a carrier, and they were great. Like they were nice people, and this was a Chicago carrier. But I don't. I'm starting to think no matter what, no matter how nice and how good the Chicago carrier is, they get you somehow. Because I remember them having me pay like $600 or $700 a month. No, it wasn't a month. It was. I think they were taking out a week. I think they were making me pay like $200 or $300 a week for bobtail insurance. I can't remember. All I know is when I figured it out, I said screw this, and I got my own. And that was when I had the 9400. And I loved that carrier. They were nice people. They took care of me for the most part. But they're still they somehow those Chicago carriers they always find a way to screw you. So hazmat reefer. See, I don't know if that would have something to do with it. I doubt it, because it should be separate. But I mean, if you're doing it right through the carrier, I would just try to get it yourself. Tell the carrier you're going to get your own bobtail insurance, because most likely they're making money off of you. Hey, what's up? Trucking reviews. Fluffer nutter. Ain't nothing fluffering right now, that's for sure. I'm just getting over whatever I had. But I don't know. I'm just like I said, I'm just trying to put something out there for right now. Before my channel starts going downhill. Like I said, if you don't do anything on YouTube for like 2 weeks, your channel like dies, and then it takes like 3 or 4 weeks for it to pick up again. So really, I'm just I don't know, bitching about anything right now. Killing time there, Josh. Corey Walker, Jackknife, you have it good. Remember that you're the top fish in trucking. Top fish. Yeah, yeah. I know that's some sarcasm going on right there. I don't know. I guess what's happening really is I'm putting out a lot of shorts that are fluffing people's egos up, and they're getting pissed off at me. So I'm guessing I got some trolls now, but hey, I don't care. As long as they're subscribed and making me money, that's all I care about. I can tell you what, don't make fun of don't make fun of a CDL school that's running like shoddy equipment and I don't know, just they don't look like they know what the hell they're even doing, let alone teaching somebody. It looks like they're just teaching somebody literally just to pass the test and that's it. And I know a lot of guys are thinking that's great. They get out there and make money right away. Uh, and I'm all for people going from like making minimum wage or going from like a retail job into let's just say trucking. Here's what trucking can afford you. For the majority of us, when you first come in here, what trucking affords you is, well, I can't even say that. Depending where you go and who you're signed on to, and or who you go for a company job, depending where you go, it affords you the ability not to live paycheck to paycheck, at least for a while, until you decide to catch up. Get a bigger apartment, buy a better car or whatnot. But that's usually what trucking affords most people, is it brings them the little bit glimmer of hope out of retail or whatnot, living paycheck to paycheck, into feeling like you're going to make it. And I guess as long as you don't up your costs, you could put away a lot, like a good amount of money, as long as you don't up your costs, like buy a brand new Silverado and stuff like that. But I'm guessing that's where a lot of the hate comes from me making videos about guys not knowing what they're doing and stuff. Leave them alone. Everybody started from somewhere. They're making money now. Just because somebody can get behind the wheel and drive the truck, and maybe get from point A to point B, usually doesn't mean doesn't mean they have the mentality in their head to not do dumb things, to not put people's lives in harm. And that's, anybody. Let's put it this way: I could probably teach my kid. Well, actually, he already knows. I could probably teach my kid to use a skid steer in, I don't know, probably 20 to 30 minutes. All right. Now, does that mean I'm going to have my kid go over and start digging ditches and stuff just anywhere willy nilly? Tell him to try to grade slopes and stuff? No, no, I'm not. It might take a year or two before practice and stuff before I'd let somebody do that. And even then, it depends on his mentality. Um, you can put anybody, like I said, in any kind of piece of heavy equipment, and they can at least make it do somewhat of what you want. But it takes years of experience, and sometimes, like in your head, you got to be able to judge and know what you're doing to keep yourself and others safe. And some people just don't have that. They don't treat this like a career, like something they need to like really focus on. Uh, and I guess it has turned into a joke. It has turned into a joke here the last few years. Like I said, most people don't view trucking as blue collar, work anymore or whatnot. It's just bottom of the barrel. And I guess I have something to say about it, and people don't like it when I say stuff about it. And it's been getting me a lot of hate here lately about just, I don't know, like they think I'm directly putting people down. I'm just putting down like the problems that we're having out here. I don't know. Off on some damn rant. Uh, let's see, Cody. No, seriously. Own truck, contract, and found out your homeowner, wife, and 2 cars. Most have fallen limit. I mean, I guess you're right. But you know what though? There's a lot of guys that live in the truck there, Cody. I mean, Corey. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that live in the truck there, and they're happy with it. That's what they do. Like if you go to like, especially if you go to like, all right. So I used to do frac sand there for a while, and you will find a. All right, at their point when frac stand and all that first came out, and sandbox, well, especially when sandbox came out, when it came out, there were a lot of mostly regular we'll just say American guys, no matter what color you are or whatever. We'll just say there were American guys doing that. Well, over time, that turned into a multicultural business. All right, which it's fine, sort of, for the most part. But yeah, I don't know. It's I still have I would like it if people would assimilate to being American, first, and then enjoy their culture and stuff second. But what happened is those guys, they'll just live in the truck. They'll live in the truck. They don't care. They'll take whatever they get offered for on the account. The same thing's happening out here with all these other trucks. All these other trucks out here, same thing's happening here. All right, you guys got people, foreign guys coming in, and I don't blame them because really what they're doing is they're getting taken advantage of too. They're coming in and they're working cheaper and they're living in a truck and they're sending the money home. And I tell you what, $1,000 a week, you translate that into pesos or whatnot, and it's more money for their family over there, and they're happy. I mean, I guess they're happy as shit. Eventually, they learn that they're getting screwed, but usually they're still making enough and keeping the family happy that they don't care. I mean, me personally, I don't want to be like this happens on company side too, guys. Like they get green cards and crap, and all it's doing it's screwing everybody. The only people that are making money are the corporations, whether you're leased to somebody or not. And if you're like an actual full blown owner operator, your own authority, you're how are you going to compete with somebody living in the truck? You want to pay your mortgage. You want to have a 4-bedroom house. You want to have kids and do this and that. How are you going to compete with somebody that can run for, I don't know, we'll say a dollar. We'll say they can run for $1.20, $1.50 a mile because costs have gone up. They have gone up. I mean, I guess if you're running down, I mean, if you're not really taking care of anything, and you somehow got a fuel discount and things like that, I guess you could run for somewhere in the lower dollar mile range and still make it and live in the truck. But for the most part, most of us regular people that have families that have assimilated to the culture here, I guess you could say, and how you should live. You can't provide, you can't live like this, living, unless you're living in the truck, and I sure as hell don't want to. It's almost like modern day slavery. It's corporate slavery practically. And I know a lot of people are going to have their opinions like that. Like, I mean, if who is it? Who's been busting on me lately here? Sage. I mean, I don't know if he's busting on me about this like subject, but he's a broker. But he's been busting on me about like talking about uh, not being able to make money and stuff like that, and whether or not brokers have it easier and stuff. And you know what? I will say that right now brokers don't have it easier too because they have the same crap too. When rates came up and everybody flooded into all these hustles came up about be a broker, be an owner operator. They had an influx of guys too that they're living in their mom's basement or they're living in some shithole apartment somewhere and they're happy with only making a couple $100 or a couple thousand like $1,000 a week. But that's not the point of this. Like the point when you get into owner operator and even company, if you're a company, you should be thinking like you should not settle. I don't know what's up with all these guys or I don't want to try to say it like derogatory, but foreigners, I guess. I don't know what's up with them wanting to settle. I mean, I guess it's a lot better than where they came from for most of them, but they're getting taken advantage of. And I don't know. It just it hurts. It brings everything down. It hurts. I don't necessarily even bring that. I don't necessarily blame them personally anymore because I can see it. It's they just do what they do. And it's not like they come over here all conniving and maniacal laughing like, "Oh, I'm gonna undercut everyone." And maybe there is these foreign carriers. That's how they when they come over here, the Chicago carriers and stuff. That's how they are. They're all maniacally laughing and I'm gonna undercut everybody. But but for the majority of these guys are just stuck in a shitty spot and it just pulls everything down. Let's see. See Corey, especially some old timers. Neil G. Uh, what is the etching? What is the aspect of trucking besides money, from your perspective? why would you want to do trucking besides money? I don't know. Why would you want to do any job really besides? I mean, I guess if you're like a fighter pilot or something, or it depends. I mean, there's some people that get into this. I guess earlier when I was younger and I got into trucking, the, the thing that kind of hooked me was being able to, go through like the Virgin River Canyon out there in Arizona and stuff, and like go past the Grand Canyon and all that other stuff. Like actually seeing things. Go up in the northwest up there. Seeing things that you would normally never see, seeing the country, and and for the most part, that was fun. But then again, when I was doing that, I was on paper logs. I mean, I could pretty much get away with doing it. If I wanted to stop somewhere, I could stop somewhere and rent an Uber or rent a car even and just go anywhere I want. With e-logs, I mean, you can still do it, but if you're running for a company and you don't have your own authority, you're on a time crunch, time limit most of the time. But that's really the only other aspect of trucking. I would say the camaraderie. There's no camaraderie out here anymore. Half the time, hold on, I'm gonna do something here, and I don't think anybody wants to see it. Or here. All right, like I was saying, half the time the camaraderie is dead anyway. Everybody hates each other out here, and most of it's like I said, most of it's because either guys just don't know any better, they don't know common sense, they don't give a shit about anybody else. They're worried about themselves. They ain't making enough money. They hate everybody. There's always stress. They're always stressed out. That's what things are killing camaraderie around here. I mean, I'll just about help anybody. Uh, you know, the thing I've noticed that now, even though if I like come up to a guy and he's foreign or whatnot, and I go to try to help him, he gets all pissed off and shit, like thinks I'm going to come over there and give him a hard time. Which I'm pretty sure really that's what happens. A lot of these guys probably go over there and give him a hard time. And I will admit, I got shorts of me bitching about people that they don't know how to speak English and this and stuff like that. But to be honest, it's not really their fault if you really think about it. They shouldn't be driving anyway. Somebody just threw them behind the wheel and said, "Hey, make money," and they're doing better than they were, so that they're fine with it. But they, like I said, they're not. They don't know what a brake chamber is. They don't know what. They just don't know. They don't. They don't know. They don't understand. And I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't be like harping on everyone like this. Maybe it's the companies, it's the FMCSA that's allowing shit like this to happen. Uh, it's just things are so screwed up out here now. It's ridiculous, and I don't know who to blame or where to start because it's gotten so bad that like it's almost you almost got to like trash the whole system and start over again. Uh, I don't know how I got talking about this, but at least that's how I feel about it. Uh, and just too many people are dying. There's like way too many. I remember years ago. All right, so you would winter would happen. You would get one of these pileups and stuff, where you might get somebody lose their brakes. But now it's like every day you turn on YouTube, you turn on the news. The guys just don't know any better, and they're always like, "Oh, it's mechanical failure, mechanical failure." You know how many times I've caught mechanical failure on these trailers, or not on this truck, but on my old truck and stuff? Yeah, I see it. Hey, can the truck still stop properly? Yes. All right. Well, I can finish up doing what I'm doing and go get it fixed. But a lot of these guys, like I said, they're having brake failures and stuff. They don't know what they're looking at. How are they supposed to know what a brake chamber is when they can't understand the instructor that's trying to teach them it? You know, and even then, even if they do have a translator, they came from somewhere where you only had to worry about, you know, I don't know, pick a banana. I don't know how to even say it. It's just it's a modern day world over here. It's not the same culture. It's not the same stuff going on. And you just expect somebody to come over here and pick it right up and then go out and drive an 80,000 pound truck down the road. They're not used to driving on these roads, these highways, these massive areas. I don't know. The whole thing is messed up. If anything, there should be more training. Whether I don't care whether you're from here or not. The training anymore is ridiculous. There's guys that I've come up to pumps. They don't know how to pump the fuel. They're brand new company guys, company trained guys. They don't know how to pump fuel. They don't know how anything is. I'm like, did your instructor show you anything? No, because they were like running them like a team. Is really what they were doing. They didn't really care about instructions. I'm off on a rant. I know, guys. Um, I finally got audio back for you. By talking about immigration drivers, I mean it don't. I mean, I guess they're immigration drivers. I mean anybody. It's just training in general for everyone sucks now. I wonder if maybe it's picking up noises from outside. But training in general just sucks now, altogether. It doesn't really matter. Well, that's what I said. The biggest companies are the problem. They're not they're taking advantage of them. That's really what it is. And they don't care whether they learn the right way or anything. They're just throwing them in a truck because they can pay them less because they don't know any better. Um, that's the biggest problem. And like I said, a lot of the guys are getting pissed off at the individual drivers anymore. But what the hell are they supposed to do? They come out here and they throw them in a truck and they leave them to the wolves, and that's what they do. And then we get the results of it. I mean, maybe we need to quit being like assholes to them. I guess is really the right term. Like I said before, when I've come up with some of these guys and they're like ready to fight. They think because I'm white or whatnot, I'm gonna like you know kick their ass or give them a hard time. But maybe we should try to. I mean, it's not really our job. It's not my job. I shouldn't be out here having to teach these guys how to use fuel pumps, how to park, where to park, what to do. Uh, they come in. The one guy the other day I had to like hold his hand through the whole damn. Had him follow me around and stuff to the facility, the One Tyson facility. It was that bad. Uh, it just gets aggravating because the first thing that pops up in your head is, hey, they're taking your jobs or they're taking your money. And it's like I said, it's not necessarily them; it's these companies. Even the guys that are out here, they're usually leased onto these. If you look at the doors, they don't have their own authority usually. They're leased on to some shitbag company, and a lot of time it's a foreign company taking advantage of the foreign drivers that they're hiring out of that region or that country. You know, uh, I don't know. I don't know how I went off on this tangent, but it just I guess I was just watching this one guy. That's why. It's just it sucks anymore. And like I said, a lot of the hate I get when I do my shorts and stuff are guys. They think that like I necessarily have a problem with the individual driver. It's not really that. It, I guess maybe at that moment, yeah. It's just something needs to change. Either the FMCSA has to actually come out with laws where if you don't meet these certain requirements, and there has to be somebody to actually come out and view these training programs and keep track of this stuff. And there isn't though. There isn't though. And you know what? I'm not even the whole thing too. A lot of guys complain about them not speaking English or whatnot. I mean, realistically, they should at least be able to read road signs or some road signs. But I mean, I'm not even really because if you go to like Walmart and stuff, they have stuff in Spanish, Chinese, what's the other one? French for I guess the French Canadians and stuff. I mean, they're already putting it down anyway. I mean, if that's what the what what Walmart and them want to do, I mean, I guess let them do it. If they had a problem with it, they wouldn't do it. I guess they would just deal with what they have been dealing with. So, I'd imagine if like I went to Mexico, I mean I have, but if you go down there, things are translated in English for you and stuff, for the most part. I mean they get pissed off sometimes because you can't speak, fluent Spanish or whatnot. But for the most part, at least especially in the tourist areas, because they want your money, they're going to translate the stuff for you. So I mean, I don't know why everyone gets all, pissy about it anymore. Um, See, Corey, you're really against those foreigners. The big companies are the biggest problem. The truth is, the truth, UPS drivers are way happy and look nice and neat. Start looking at them, Union. Yeah, but that's UPS. UPS is a totally different animal. The amount of the amount of profit there is on package side, because there's a reason UPS doesn't have freight anymore. I tell you that. The amount on the parcel side is totally ridiculous because people are going to pay it. They have that demand. They have that niche locked down. If they want, what are they going to say? Oh, we're going to raise by ounce. We're going to raise every parcel up. Every ounce is going to go up $5 an ounce or whatnot. People are going to pay it. They're going to pay it. They're going to have to pay it because the stuff has to get shipped. Either that or some other company somehow is going to have to come in and compete with UPS. And it's like I said, it's a totally different ball game out here with this regular truckload freight and even LTL. There's just there's more competition. There's an overabundance of trucks and authorities and stuff right now for the freight that's moving. UPS is a whole different ball game, and the union knows they have UPS by the balls. So worst comes to worst, what you'll find is UPS will just end up charging more. That's all. You can't do that out here because you charge. Let's say I bet you if Swift went completely union and started running like UPS and whatnot, I bet you in about a year or two they would be under because somebody else will just come in. Prime will come in and undercut them. Prime will start buying a bunch of trucks up, buying a bunch of trailers up, and they'll come in and undercut them. You would have to have the entire industry would have to go union. And even then, you know what they would do? They'd probably really start working real hard on autonomous trucks. Maybe 15, 20 years ago you could get away with doing that, but not now. Not now. And even then, I don't know. You think things are bad now with people being protected and stuff, and the FMCSA not making any real meaningful laws and regulations. It would get 10 times worse. Um, the unions of yesteryear are not the unions of 2023. That is for shit sure. Um, and it's a damn shame, but it is what it is. Uh, does trucking keep people humble? Are truckers humble? Humble. I don't know what you mean there, Jack. By humble. When I think of humble, I mean appreciative, I guess. Glad what they have. Usually not, because usually what happens in trucking is if you become humble or appreciative of what you have or what's going on at one point, something will change within a year or two, or the market will change. And even when you're being a company job, you'll get laid off or something will happen, or you won't make that much money on that dedicated run anymore. Uh, I, I guess you can be okay with what you're doing. Let's see. Dirty Diesel. Hey, what's up? He just said, "What's up, Jackknife?" Truckers should. Let's see, Corey. Truckers should unionize. I believe truckers can, if unite. You can say that about railroad. All. They all living good. I don't know. I've talked to a few railroad people, and they're. I guess if you're part of like a really large railroad, like Norfolk Southern or whatnot, you're kind of okay. But there's some like regional railroads and stuff, and they're all union. Um, some of those guys ain't making much more money than probably some of the company guys out here. The only thing we got is the bennies are good, but that's because that's like federally ran all that. That side of the railroad union part. That's all the federal benefits and stuff. That's all part of that. That's a totally different story. If we were able to go back to like the early days of even I know they're like the mobster days of the union, but the early days of the union, and maybe take out some of the mobster aspects of it, A union could work. The problem is, though, today there's so much clout, I guess, within the union, whether that be political or favoritism, I guess you could say. It's just in its purest form, it should work. The way it is today, I mean, maybe if you're lucky and you keep your head down, you think the union's great and insane. But when you start like actually getting into the nitty gritty and seeing behind the curtain, you're like, what the hell is going on? That's I don't hate unions per se. I just hate what they've become. I guess in the last, I don't know, we'll say 20 years or something, or 15 years, they're not as pure as they used to be. Wrong with Ryan. It's Veterans Days, boys. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is Veterans Day. You know, if anybody's supposed to get paid more or have some things handed to them, it's freaking veterans. That's for sure. I mean, here I am bitching about trucking and everything, and here you got veterans that can't get houses or freaking medical care and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the whole thing's. I don't want to get political, really. The whole thing's messed up. Everything, for the most part, doesn't seem like it's working right. Class one railroad is the way to go. Yes, that is indeed their abandoned P jug. But even then, like I remember hearing about, uh, engineers. I remember what this is probably like the late 2000s. I remember hearing engineers making $200,000. I don't I I don't hear that much anymore. Um, maybe it is. Maybe they are making 200,000, but for the most part, a lot of guys I hear they're barely doing. Um, what is it? They're barely doing like 100,000 a year for an engineer. Kind of like what happened with the pilots. But that might change too. I mean, it all depends. If the union makes a big enough stink about it and go on strike, like they did before. Maybe they are making like $200,000 a year. An engineer is. But if you can get in one of those jobs, that's great. But the big thing though is those people aren't leaving those jobs. They're retiring in those jobs. You get in that and you're there for like 30 or 40 years. Plus, getting into it, like I tried to become a lineman, and you got to go through the union to get an alignment, and you're talking about being an apprentice, until they have an opening for you, and you might make $30,000-$40,000 a year as an apprentice. I can't go back to that. I can't go back to $30,000 a year and support my family that I have now. I mean, that's something you got to do like right out of high school, and a lot of union jobs are like that. At least when it deals with like carpentry and all that, the utilities and building trades and stuff like that. You have to be able to make it for a few years, making like 30 or 40,000 a year. So, I mean, if you're lucky, I guess if you get in, or somebody or something, maybe you can do something about it. But for the most part, when you get into these union jobs, you're on the bottom of the barrel. You're an apprentice. You're coming in at like 30 or 40 grand a year. Now, like I said, it depends if they did something with the contract and maybe raise that up a bit. But for the most part, whenever I see any kind of apprentice union job, they're usually right around 30 to 40,000 a year, and you ain't gonna come out of there until something opens up, until you could become a journeyman or whatnot. So, like a lot of the railroad jobs, I see you if you start out in the railroad, you're usually being a conductor. You know, uh, you're starting out as a conductor. I think the what was it? Was it Norfolk Southern? I was looking at a conductor job. I think it paid like 52 a year. Start out as a conductor, and you're not stuck on a certain run. You're all over the place. Wherever they tell you to go, you're just jump and you say how high. So you're doing that for the first year or two, maybe three, but then you got to put in for something else and transfer out of that. Then you got to hope they transfer you out or there's an opening. So that's stuff that you should do coming out of high school or college or whatnot. That ain't something once you like have a family, 2 or 3 kids, a house, a car payment stuff, you can't just, you know, unless you, I guess you could. I mean, you could probably sell the house, you could get rid of the cars, get a cheap apartment somewhere, and you could do that. But I mean, that's going to be something you have to bring up with your wife and everything else to go back and do that. You're definitely going to have to rely on doing something like that. Uh, let's see, abandoned P job. I'm about to hopefully leave my local job. Hold on, coughing fit again. I mean, I guess your local job must not be treating you that well then too. But you know what? You're not the only one. I just watched Andrew Jackson, um, chasing Andrew Jackson, I guess you'd say, and he's flip flopping back and forth between like the oil field and running spot market freight and things and contracts, and even I don't know if he's playing because he loves to play his haters. But even he's complaining about the rates in the oil field and how like low they are and how saturated. You show up at the site and it's just total chaos. There's trucks everywhere. You know, uh, like I said before, was a little bit what I was talking about was the comments of like the foreign drivers or whatever. Like he was saying, they don't know any better. They get their $100 a day or $200 a day, and they send it home. They're happy. The problem is they're getting screwed, and it's screwing everybody. You basically brought third world labor into America. Is really what they basically did, and nobody's stopping it. You know, but like he said, he can't make it work in the oil field either. Like I said, I don't know if he's screwing around because I know he has other trucks and I know he has drivers leased to him, but what he's saying kind of holds some merit. You know, um, and if he's complaining, I mean, I just like I said, I can't. I'm not even going to try to complain about my low weeks, here anymore because I'm watching videos where guys are talking about only netting a couple $100 a week. I don't know how you can be making truck payments and call yourself an owner operator and stuff, and be like, oh yeah, I'm making a couple $100 a week, living the life, living the dream. You know, I don't know how you can do that, but apparently there's guys doing it. Like I said, I would go through that for like maybe a month or two and be like, hey, shit ain't changing. I can't find nothing else to do. I'm done. Shit, let the truck get repoed. Fuck this. Um, so I'm gonna probably try to stop complaining about my low weeks and stuff like this. Maybe I'm gonna try to find some kind of content that I could put out that's a little more uplifting and hopeful, but I doubt that's gonna happen. He's probably gonna want to park here, but anyway, I'm gonna get off here. I've been at this probably about over an hour now. Yeah, I'm definitely got my 2 hour break in. So I'm gonna hop off. I mean, I got a few comments here. I guess I'll read. See, Corey, I don't know about 200K, but I have family in Ford UAW. It's great after 20 years. You good? And people with second home and move to Florida and Arizona. Well, you know what? Corey. I would say right now, because I looked at some of the UAW contracts and stuff. I would say majority of the people now working the UAW. If you can get in there, go do it, because majority of them, even without overtime, just working your 40-hour week after taxes, they're probably doing about $100,000 plus a year. $100,000 plus a year. You got all your bennies paid for. You get discounts on vehicles. Why go anywhere else? I wouldn't tell anybody that had that ability to get into the United Auto Workers. I wouldn't tell any of them to start a business or do anything. You could take that money there, live within your means, and you can invest that into something a lot better than freaking trucking. You can get into housing, rental properties. That's what I would do if I had the ability to do that, or like linemen. I talked to a few linemen. That's the real reason why I was trying to get into linemen, because I used to deliver utility poles to them. some of them with overtime and storm work, they're doing like 100. They're clearing 130, $140,000 a year, clearing after taxes. Why do this when you could do that? Sure, some of them like doing a lineman job. You ain't home a lot sometimes, especially if they go do storm work and things like that. But with like clearing 140, have my insurance and everything taken care of, my life insurance, my 401k, and the 401k they're usually practically matching all the way up to like 10% or something like that, or 15%. Why do this? Take that extra money, be smart with it, invest it into real estate. You could be within probably like 15, 20 years, you could have a net worth of what, 1 million or plus. Why do this? So I know where you're coming from there when you start talking about the United Autos workers and everything like that. But that's a totally different. There's only so many people going to get into that. And usually, like you said, it's about who you know. I mean, if you know family members, I don't know if you're in trucking or whatnot, but that's what I would try to get into there, Corey. Um, and like I said, the people that get into that, they're there for life. Why would you leave? So you have to wait for your turn, your place in line to get in. You know, that's really what what holds people up most of the time for that. Uh, see, Abandoned P Jug. I've wanted to get out of trucking for a while now. Now I might leave. Now I might have the chance. Well, I mean, there you go. That's what I would try to do if I were you. Like I said, I'm gonna do. Like I said, I'm not gonna really try to complain about what's happening with me anymore that much. And I'm gonna just try to make better, like more hopeful videos. But the same thing with that, I'm not gonna tout becoming an owner operator much anymore either. I mean, if you got your own authority and you got a couple, you're able to get a couple drivers and a couple contracts, that's great. Uh, but until you like reach that, consistently making $100,000 a year and plus, having your own authority or being your own operator, the stress, the anxiety, the shit you got to put up with, it's just not worth it. Try to get into the United Auto Workers Union or something, or UPS or something like that. But like I said, majority of the time, the reason people are doing this is because they can't get into places like that. They want to, it used to be if you started your own business, no matter how small it was, eventually you would make you would make 100,000 plus a year. I mean, $100,000 ain't really killing the world right now, with inflation and stuff. But I mean, it's still better than nothing. It also depends where you live. I mean, if you're like live outside New York City or whatnot, yeah, of course it's not that great. But if you live like here in Dansville, Virginia, $100,000 a year, you're probably doing pretty good. So I don't know. I'm gonna quit rambling. All right, I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna put some refuel in this and go pick up my relay load. And everyone try to I know it's shitty right now. There's no direction to go. There is no guru right now. All these gurus. There is no magic plan to get out of this. We're right now at the mercy of the market. And then all along with all the bullshit that goes along with it, the scams and everything else that's been going on. And until I'm sorry to say, but until either the market extremely gets better and loads start coming back, we're not going to see rates come up. It's all hand in hand with the economy, and I have a feeling we're going to be going through 2024 just like this. I have a feeling it's not going to get much better. Maybe 2025, but I don't want to be political, but that probably plays a big part into it too. Maybe war might play a big part into it. It's just hard to look ahead and see what you can do to make things better right now. The only thing you can do is keep costs as dirt cheap as possible. Don't buy new trucks. Don't get in a bunch of debt. Don't don't explode your home expenses. Just pretend you don't have any money if you got money coming in right now. Just live way below your means and stick away. Stick the money away. Eventually, the market will come back. Eventually, the economy has to come back. And when it does, be prepared. If you can afford it right now, like I said, oh, here comes a tow truck to tow this guy. We have to make some money here. Like I said, he's about to get towed. I don't think he's not towing it with no he's not towing it with no what's it called? No flatbed. I tell you what, you know what? If this guy leaves, I'm gonna go and try to call the number on this door and tell them that your truck's about to get towed, your service truck. But all right, I'm out of here, guys. I'll leave you with that, and yeah, just hope things get better. I'll catch y'all later.